Hi, welcome back. So glad I can have you here today. If you haven't practiced with me before, my name is Rachel, and this is our Monday canna-yoga session with Leaf and Lotus. So today I am smoking on, let's see, I think this one was called Banana Cake Crossed with Jealousy. They haven't quite named it, so they're just using the cross strains on this one. This is from, again, our Leaf and Flower dispensary here in Albuquerque. They're phenomenal. I'm a big fan of, the terpene profile of their flower. It's been a really sticky flower. It's been really flavorful. I'm just really, really digging on all of their strains. So if you are local, feel free to check out Leaf and Flower and let them know Rachel from Leaf and Lotus sent you. And it's really easy to remember, right? I'm Leaf and Lotus. They're Leaf and Flower. Maybe we'll do business together in the future. Yeah, So today, again, I'm smoking on a little bit of their cannabis, and as always, I'd like to start with a clean pipe. That way I can taste my terpenes, I can get the full aroma of the flower before I even begin to consume. So let's start by just taking a nice dry hit, I like to call it, where you suck on your device. So it's, if you're smoking on a joint or blunt or a pipe like me, you can just inhale and taste. Now, if you like your bong or your water pipe, whatever that is, maybe you're smoking dabs this morning, that's great. Maybe you take a little piece of the cannabis and just taste it. You could do the same with the dabs, but just be careful because now you're ingesting, concentrated cannabis, and it can be like an edible, okay? So as we take a few dry hits together, just tasting the aroma of our cannabis. If you've already started smoking on it, no problem, it's okay. Next time, bring two bowls, one that hasn't been hit and the other one that you're smoking on, right? So you can always feel free to consume before coming to class. That way you can feel kind of your level where you feel like you want to be as we start our class, okay? So there's always the opportunity, of course, if you're watching this in the future, that you can pause and partake in as much cannabis as you'd like before starting the actual yoga flow. So let's start together just by we're going to take 3 intentional hits together. I'm very mindful about how I use my cannabis, especially when it comes to consuming before using it for yoga, right? When we consume before yoga, we want to make sure that we have some intention. Anytime we have intention behind the use of our cannabis, it tells it where to go. It tells it what to do. So if you're dealing with pain management or you utilize cannabis, for anxiety or things like that, just allow yourself to really come to a really strong intention before you start partaking in the cannabis. With each hit you draw in, you're drawing in the medicine of that cannabis, allowing it to do some of the work for you. So I'm using my hemp wick here today. I like to use the hemp wick because then we're not inhaling the butane as we inhale the cannabis. So you can get hemp wick at any of your local head shops. You can order it online as well. This nifty little device actually threads it through the lighter for me and makes it extra easy for me to use. So you can always find hemp wick and just use it straight out of the container. So taking a nice inhale, exhaling to let it go, bringing the device to your lips and inhaling your first hit. Drawing in that intention with your cannabis. Exhale anything you're holding on to here, letting go, right? There's no need to hold on or clench or tighten up in yoga. As a matter of fact, I'm going to switch my positions here because my legs were getting a little tight. So feel free to move around the mat as you'd like today. I'm here as your guide. I'm here to give you kind of some direction, but if ever there's something more that you need, feel free to take that in your practice. Taking your device, bringing it to your lips again, inhaling together. Really drawing in that intention. Connecting with your desire. What is it that you need from this practice today? What is it that you need from your life in this moment? Taking a few conscious breaths in between each inhale. We don't want to overdo it with our lungs. Cannabis is a bronchodilator, but sometimes it brings us to that amount of coughing, right? When we can't quite exhale all of that remaining smoke out of our lungs. Sometimes taking those few breaths in between can help us expel the rest of that stale smoke. And then open up those lung spaces just a little bit further. When you feel like you're ready, going ahead and bringing that device back to your lips, igniting your cannabis, thanking our Mama Ganja as we bring in this hit. Thank you to our ancestors. Thank you to those who held space for us in the past, those that will hold space for us in the future. Knowing that with our inhaling and exhaling together, we're really bringing a consciousness to the medicine, a consciousness to the practice. In this moment, you can feel free to pause the video here for as long as you'd like, taking several more tokes if that's what's in your practice, if that's what you feel like you need. The great thing about cannabis is we can regulate ourselves so much easier with inhaling cannabis than we can with edibles, right? No judgment if you chose edibles today, I'm all for it. Just knowing that the onset is a little bit different, right? When we smoke cannabis, we can really take it to that level that we want to be at and we can stop, right? It's not usually going to get any more intense, or it's not usually, it's more likely to back off just a little bit. Remember to have some water or tea or something nearby. With cannabis, we always want to make sure to stay hydrated. Maybe you have some juice. Taking a sip here before we get started, just really beginning to hydrate the body, thinking about the cells. And then rolling onto our knees. We're going to start with our spinal flexion today, our cat-cow. Bring the knees underneath your hip points. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Look between your thighs and let your shins and toes disappear. 2 nice long lines behind you. Let's remember that spider grip. We're pressing into the fingertips and we're pressing in where they start to meet the mat and, where they start to meet the palm. We're creating a suction cup grip here, almost like we're trying to hold onto the lid of a jar. As you inhale, let the tailbone reach, let the belly drop, chest moves forward, eye gaze up or forward. Pushing out here, letting the tailbone rise, softening the face. And as you exhale, press through the toenails, round and curl, belly button pulls to the spine, chin comes to the chest flap. Inhale, drop the belly, eye gaze up. Remember to start each wave with that tailbone. Exhale, push it away. Tailbone starts, round the belly, tuck it in and push away. Inhale, lift it up. Pull that collarbone forward. Really reach in between the shoulder blades. Push up and away. Don't sink down into the shoulders here. Nice. Push it away on the exhale. Round and curl. Really push away here. Take a couple of breaths. Pressing into the toenails, squeezing that belly button up even higher, and then squeezing those hips like they're going to touch your elbows. They're not, but that squeezing sensation is going to activate that pelvic floor, activate that belly, and start to create that coarsening sensation around the spine. As you inhale, drop the belly, eye gaze up. Nice job. Exhale, push it away. Last time here, hold the breath, hold it, hold it, hold it, and release to a neutral. Walk those hands out in front of you. Start to curl onto the toes. We're going to start to go upside down already. Press yourself back, find your downward facing dog. Let the feet come about hips distance apart, maybe a little bit wider. Make sure you're squeezing into your spider grip and lift your tailbone up to the sky. Feel the backs of the legs start to straighten here. Maybe you take a moment to shake your head no. And nod. Press it back, melt the chest toward the thighs. Start to create a little micro bend in the knees and elbows. Rotate the eyes of the elbows toward the top of the mat. And then press your chest towards your thighs. Nice job. Inhale, start to walk your toes. Little tiptoe walks up to the top of the mat. When you get there, find the top of the mat with the feet, bring them about hips distance apart. Remember, you can measure by placing your fists side by side in between the arches of the feet. Let the feet come gather up on those arches, on those hands. Allow the head to start to fold down, releasing down and let that head dangle.
Making sure the knees have a micro bend here. The more you bend the knees, the more it becomes about the low spine. As you start to straighten, you'll start to feel the length through those hamstrings. You can grab for opposite elbows here if you'd like, maybe ragdoll, shaking it out side to side. Just make sure you have that nice bend in the knees. If the hands are toward the mat, maybe you start to fold your belly onto your thighs just a little bit more. I like to think about using my exhale to tuck the belly underneath the rib cage and fold a little deeper. Last 2 breaths here, releasing the hands down on your next exhale. And then on the inhale, coming up, fingertips find the shins or the thighs. Exhale, forward fold. Now we're going to come up again for that half lift. So inhale, but I want you to exhale here, let it go. Then press through the feet, root to rise, bring those fingertips all the way up to the sky. Tuck your tailbone and exhale to let something go. Ah. Inhale up. Nice job. Let's do a couple of sun salutations together. So we press the sides of the room away, come down with that flat spine, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale to half lift, find that figure 7. Exhale to release, bend the knees and frame your feet with your hands. Step your right foot back, way back. So a little farther than you think you can, and then shift so that left knee stacks over that left ankle. The right hand is in line with the arch, and we start to press those hands in so that left leg comes in and back, finding our first plank here. Shift it forward, keep onto the toes, but drop down to the knees. Tuck the elbows in to hug the body and release it down. You're really using those elbows to hug the body here. Chest and chin, find the mat. On your inhale, tops of the toes press in and lift your chest up. Really press through that pelvic floor. Press, I should say press the pelvis down. Peel your shoulders back behind you. Thumbs stand in that nipple area, but they can rise here. We're not using them to push away. Smile, exhale, release. Curl onto those toes. Press up. This time we go through the knees first to start. Then lift those hips and find your downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Maybe you take a moment here to shake your head no. Lift your hips a little higher to the sky and nod it yes. Nice work. Inhale, lifts the right leg up to the sky, and then we bring it in tight to the chest. Coming in like you're a flamingo. Come high on those back toes and really peel the right leg in. Shift your body weight forward, then kick your right foot in between those hands. Find a way. You swish it around, you can peel it through. You'll start to find the strength in your arms where you can get it to swing up and around all on its own. But until then, find the way, okay? Always working in your direction. Press off of that right foot, lifting off the left. Lift the left leg up to the sky and stand straight through that right leg. Toes facing forward. Turn your left pinky toes down toward the mat to really extend that left leg long. And we're creating a nice flat spine here with those hips. Reach your left heel back and then let the crown of the head drop here. If you want to lift that left leg, lift it from the left inner thigh. Don't lift up and out, lift in and up. Exhale to release the left foot down to meet the right. Heel toe those feet so they're hips distance apart. Measuring if you need with those fists. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And then exhale here. Inhale, root to rise, press through those feet. Let that be what reaches you up to the sky. And then tuck your tailbone, cactus the arms, look up and exhale out, letting something go. Inhale, back up, nice work. Push the sides of the room away and come down with that flat spine. Finding your Uttanasana, forward fold, still at the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, frame your feet. This time the left foot goes back. Very far back, okay? A little bit too exaggerated, where you start to feel the stretch through the top of the left thigh. Then shift your weight forward so this right knee can really stack over that right ankle. Okay, hands are framing the feet, and then we start to push into the hands and squeeze that right leg in, peeling the right heel back, kick it back to find your plank. Nice job. Second round, we'll keep up with the knees, chest, chin. I want you in a nice long spine here first. Then shift it forward, come high on the toes. Drop down through the knees. Squeeze your biceps in towards your body by turning the elbows forward and bending those elbows in. Hug your torso with those biceps. Then chest and chin find the mat. Booty reaches to the sky. Tops of toes find the mat. So does the belly. Inhale, lift it up. Peel your shoulders back, peel your elbows back, reach your chest forward, look forward. Maybe you're looking down to the mat. Maybe you can tilt your head up and reach the eye gaze forward. Press down through your toes, holding here for a couple breaths. Don't hold the breath, hold the pose. Squeeze your cheeks, press down through those toes, and exhale to soften. Hands are still underneath that nipple area. Curl onto the toes. Maybe this time you push up for your plank. Shift it back. Find your downward facing dog. Moving through the knees at any time. Wiggle your tail just a little bit to allow a softness through the spine, and then press through the hands to melt your chest towards your thighs. Remember that micro bend in the knees. Don't lock out here. Remember to rotate the eyes and the elbows forward. This is going to start to strengthen those shoulders. Squeeze into that spider grip to protect your hands. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale into the chest like your flamingo first. Really pull that left heel toward your booty, then come high on those back toes, shift that body weight forward, and kick your left foot in between your hands. Square your hips off. Get that left knee over the left ankle. Now we're going to lift off, push off, find your standing splits. So once you get here, drop your right pinky toe toward the mat, really opening up that hip to come down toward the floor. So imagine that you have lights that shine out the front of your hips. Those are what we want shining down toward the floor right now. And then if your left leg is bent, I want you to work to stand into that left leg. Work on strengthening the muscles here. Flex your right foot back behind you. And then let the crown of the head soften here. Embrace the stretch, embrace the wiggle if there is some. And exhale to release that right foot down. Feet walk hips distance apart once again, measuring to get used to it here. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, let it go. Slow root to rise. Notice the difference as we don't exhale there. We slowly rise all the way up. Maybe you get a head rush here. Push into the feet, reach down through the fingertips, and now inhale those fingertips up. Exhale, tuck your tailbone and let something go. Ah. Inhale up. Good. Exhale, hands down through heart. Nice job. Hinge it forward, releasing those hips back and find that forward fold. Let's inhale together for that half lift. Exhale, forward fold, back down. Frame the feet, step your right foot back. Pull that left leg in and step it back to find your plank. Now, you can move through knees, chest, chin, or maybe you try through chaturanga. Let's see how strong I am this morning. Belly flops are okay, you guys, especially when you're learning. Chaturanga is one of the hardest poses to move through. It is really intense on the upper shoulders and the forearms, so just be mindful, okay? So if you'd like to try the chaturanga, come high on the toes, shift the body weight forward. We don't drop down to the knees here. We bend the elbows, hug the body, release the chest down, come to the tops of the toes, belly flop, press up and away. So eventually that belly flop is totally left out, and we just find the tops of the toes and lift up for our upward facing dog. You can be in cobra here also, keeping the hips down, elbows a little bent. Nice. You can also be in your baby cobra here. Everyone exhale to release it down, find the chest. Okay, thumbs come back under the nipple area so we have a nice long line. Squeeze into your spider grip, curl onto the toes, press up, see if you can find your plank. Shift it back, downward facing dog. Smile. Say something nice to yourself here. Please mean it. Inhale, lift the right leg up to the sky. Exhale, bring it forward, up and through. This time, kick it forward and see if you can tap your right knee on your right elbow. Kick it back. Find a three-legged dog, push back. So in three-legged, we're not opening up the hip here. Rather, we're still keeping that square hip like we were doing in our standing splits, but we're pushing back through that right foot and we're feeling the length through that right hamstring. Good. Bend the knee, bring it into the chest. Come high on those back toes. Bring that right foot in between the hands. This time we're going to find our twisted lunge. So right hand is in line with that right arch. Right knee over right ankle. Feel it sink down through those thighs. Windmill that right arm up on your inhale. Reach it up to the sky. Squeeze an imaginary block between the thighs. And see if you can find the crescent moon in your thumbnail. Smile. Breathe. Windmill that hand down, frame the foot. Here we go. Kick off, lift it off. Lift that left leg up. Flex your left foot. Standing splits. Rotating that left foot down toward the mat and lifting from the right inner thigh. Then straightening up out of that right leg and feeling the length of your right leg. If you're wanting a balance challenge, go ahead and grab a hold of that right ankle. Breathe. And release the hands down. Exhale to release the left foot down. Inhale right away, half lift. Let's reset that spine. Micro bend those knees, push that tailbone back. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, come up, half lift. Exhale here. Root to rise, come all the way up. Really press through those feet. This will keep the blood flowing evenly through the body. Tuck your tailbone and exhale, cactus the arms to let it go. Inhale up. Good, exhale, hands down through heart, hinge it forward. Moving on to that other side. Find your Uttanasana, forward fold. Bend the knees, frame the feet. Step your left foot back. Wait. Find that nice framing here. Hands frame the foot, and then peel your right knee in. Kick your right foot back. Find your plank. Now, moving through knees, chest, chin, or trying again through that chaturanga. Make sure you have a nice strong spider grip that you can rotate the eyes and the elbows forward. Shift your body weight high on those toes. We want the arms holding the weight. Then bend the elbows, bring them in above the body. Try not to let the elbows reach past the torso. Then press it up, lift it up. Belly flops are beautiful. Reach the eye gaze up to the sky here. And when you're ready, shifting through the knees, or maybe trying to roll over those toes as you lift your hips up to the sky. So that's super advanced, right? Coming off the tops of the toes, rolling over the toes onto the balls of the feet to find the downward dog. So maybe your feet are ready for that. Mine took many years. On the next round, we'll practice lifting up on top of those toes. You can feel that, okay? Inhale, lift the left leg up to the sky. Exhale, bend the knee, peel it tight into the chest, come high on those toes. Tap the left elbow. Good, kick it back, find a three-legged dog. Really press through those hands, really lengthen through that right leg, and then flex your left foot like you're gonna kick that wall back there. Really push through that left heel. Nice, you should be feeling the length on your right hands, right there on the back of that leg, all the way down. Nice, come high on those right toes, bring the left knee into the chest, shift the body weight forward and kick that left foot in between the hands, square your hips, left hip back, right hip forward, squeeze that imaginary block between the thighs, right hand finds the mat, left arm twists to the sky, open that hand, reach out, really push up and away here, don't let it just all sink down, push up and out of that hand, reach up to the sky with those left fingers. Maybe you take the eye gaze up to find that left thumb. Maybe you square those hips here a little bit more by squeezing that imaginary block. Smile. Windmill that left hand down to frame the foot, kicking off, lifting off, standing splits, push it out, reach that right toe down toward the floor, and then lift the right inner thigh. Let the crown of the head start to hang heavy here, and maybe you start to hold on to that left foot, finding a little flight in your balance. Release the right foot down on an exhale. Find your Uttanasana. This time, peel those toes together. You can keep a little space between the heels if you'd like. And otherwise, we start to bend the knees. Squeeze an imaginary block between the thighs. And inhale. Come up for a little chair. Sinking those hips back and down. Imagine somebody's pulling that chair underneath you, pushing it underneath you. Maybe the hands are at the heart for a little less. Inhale, push away, reach those fingertips up to the sky, tuck your tailbone, exhale, let it go. Ah, nice job. Inhale up, exhale, hands down through heart. Drop your chin to your chest. Give a little thanks. Nice work. Hopefully your heartbeat is starting to move. Hopefully you can feel it in your chest. 3 more breaths with ourselves right here. Maybe taking a moment to say something nice to yourself. Is me. Taking a sip of water if you need. Grabbing another hit and pausing the video if that's what you prefer. And release the fingertips down, finding a mountain pose. Reaching the eye gaze forward, tucking in the tailbone, reaching the crown of the head nice and long to the sky. Those fingertips are really reaching down next to you. Those feet are really activated, pressing into the ground, reaching those feet, reaching that energy up through those legs. Make sure there's a nice bend, soft bend through the knees, so you can allow that current of energy to keep flowing up those legs. Releasing that pelvic floor so it's nice and parallel. Don't let it kick back or don't tuck it in too far. Just a nice parallel, neutral pelvis. There we go. And then that energy current pulls up through the belly, and you're reaching those fingertips down. You can feel the shoulders, the heart activated. This is so much about opening the heart here in Tadasana. Now smile at yourself. Look how far you've come. Good. Eye gaze forward. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Gather up some of that energy and peel it into the chest as you hinge it forward, releasing down, finding Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, reset. One more round here, framing the feet out here, stepping your right foot way back, left knee over left ankle, right hand into the mat, left hand starts to frame. So if you're like me, I have lots of leg. I got nice long legs. So this leg is really up underneath that left shoulder, right? So when I got to get it back there, I got to push myself away from the leg with my hands. So I have enough space to peel the leg into my body. Then kick it back, find your plank. Now remember with plank, you want to be able to shift seamlessly between downward facing dog and plank, keeping the hands and feet where they are. So maybe you do a couple of downward dog rolls here until you can find a nice, strong foundation to start with. Good. When you've shifted forward for your next plank here, hold. Find the foundation with the hands. Maybe you rotate the eyes of the elbows forward so you can start to prepare yourself for that chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Come high on the toes. Choose your adventure. Maybe you drop down to the knees. Maybe you keep it long and hug the body with those elbows, tops of toes. Lift up and off. Press away. Reach the eye gaze up to the sky. Nice job this time. Press it back and stay onto your toes. See how I'm on my toes and I'm lifting my booty up. Then when it gets to be too much, roll over the tops of the feet and find the balls of the feet. Press away into your downward facing dog. Take a moment here to squeeze into your spider grip. Rotate the eyes of the elbows forward and press to melt your chest with your thumbs. Think about lifting the tailbone up to the sky so the cheeks actually separate apart from one another. It should feel like those sit bones are reaching in opposite directions of the room. Good. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, bring it tight into the chest. Here's that flamingo move. Come high on those back toes. Tap your right elbow. Kick it back. Flex it out. Three-legged dog. Good. This time, open it up. Stack it out. Okay, if this is getting to be too intense to be on the hands, you can be down here on the forearms and the knee. You can still have it back here. You can still be tapping that forearm, that bicep and kicking back. And then when we swing our hands right? When we swing in between the hands, we're here, okay? So you choose your own adventure here, but now I want you to open stack that right leg. Make sure you have a nice even grip between both hands and really try and reach those right toes up to the sky, opening those hips up to the right side of your mat. Now bend your right knee, don't let the foot flop. I want the foot to reach. Imagine you're a ballerina, this is like an arabesque. We're reaching our right toes toward the front left corner of the mat. Good, swim that right leg around, tap the right elbow. Nice job. One more time, lift it, open up, right away, reach the toe. And look over the left shoulder or under the left shoulder to find your toes. Nice. Swing that right leg around. This time, maybe you tap the elbow and then draw the foot in between. Finding a way to get that right foot in between those hands. Left hand into the mat, right arm twist up to the sky. Reach. Breathe. And then windmill that right hand down, frame the foot, lift off, push off, find your standing splits, pressing away, rotating that hip down, flexing your left foot, and reaching that right leg nice and long. Maybe grabbing the hold of that right ankle. One hand is fine. Maybe you find both. And then exhale, release the left foot down to meet the right, finding the big toes to touch. Sinking it back into our chair. Inhale, come on up. Reach those arms up. Heel your tailbone back. Pull the belly button to the spine. And then sternum to belly connection. Maybe the hands are at the heart here. Holding here for 3, 2. Sink it down a little farther. And inhale to reach on up. Exhale, tuck the tailbone. Let something go. Ah. Inhale back up, other side, and then we're down on our backs. Inhale for that half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Reach it for the sky. Good, sorry for the interruption. Let's come back down to heart. Let's get recentered together. Good. Inhale, reach the arms up. Let's do that other side. Swan dive forward, come down, Uttanasana, forward fold. Turn the feet, bend the knees. Step your left foot back. Way, way back. Right knee over that right ankle. Hands are framing the feet. Really feel that lift here as you start to push into those hands, peeling the right knee into the chest and kicking your right foot back. Finding that nice plank. Remember, you can always sweep the hips back to find your downward dog, sweep the hips forward, starting to find that nice space in that downward dog, chaturanga body connection, okay? Then squeeze into your spider grip, rotate the eyes and the elbows forward, come high on those back toes, and tuck your pelvic floor. Shift the body weight even farther forward, maybe dropping knees, chest, chin, or hugging through the body, coming to the tops of the toes, and lifting up. Nice job, press it back, let's lift high on those toes, and then start to roll them over when you're ready, finding that downward facing dog. Shake your head no. And nodding. Nice work. Inhale, lift that left leg up. Exhale, sweep it forward like your flamingo. Come high on those back toes, tap that left elbow, then kick it back. Reach it up, this time open stack, reaching the toes up to the sky, then bend the knee and reach it back behind you. Arabesque here. Nice, swim it down, around, and swim that left leg. Tap the left elbow. Kick it back. Open up, stack it, reach it. Maybe look under that right shoulder, over that right shoulder, and those toes. And then swing it around, up and through, dropping that left foot in between those hands. Finding that nice, strong foundation as you swing the left arm up to the sky, open twist, reaching up, finding that thumb, smile. Breathe. Nice work today on those feet. Release that left hand down, push away, find that standing splits, kicking out of that left foot, reaching those right toes down, kick that right heel back, and release the crown of your head toward the mat. Release the right foot down, Uttanasana, forward fold, big toes touch, little separation between the heels if you like, squeeze in that imaginary block as you sit back into your chair. Turn those arms up to the sky. And look down at your toes. You should be able to still see your toes here. Don't let the knees bypass them. Then hands to the heart. Sink it down a little bit farther. A little bit farther. Feel those arms. Inhale, reach it up to the sky. Exhale, tuck the tailbone and let it go. Oh. Inhale back up. And then exhale, hands down. Nice work. Bow to yourself. Nice reverent bow, giving thanks here. Nice job. Good. Release it down, forward fold. Walk your feet out and turn so you can see me here. Walk your feet out. Let the toes spill off the edge of the mat and slowly start to sink it down, finding hips to heels. Nice. Walk the elbows in between the thighs, using this as a little pelvic floor opener, a little root opener here. Bring the hands to the heart, draw your chin to your chest, and just give a nice little bow. Try and keep the neck nice and long, and then release the hands down to the mat. Release the hands beside you and kick yourself back, okay? So I want you to find the center of your mat with your booty. Flex your feet nice and long, and sit up nice and tall here, okay? If you have a brick or block, you could always take it and place it underneath your booty here. This will help you get a little more length through those legs, through those hips. Feel you open up just a little bit more here. Flex your feet, bring your hands to your heart. Say a little prayer. Inhale, open the arms up to the sky. And exhale, hands drop back to the dog. Nice. Bring your right heel into the left thigh. I'm gonna move my brick out of the way here. I'd like to open my eyes just a little more. So bring that right heel into the inner left thigh. I want you to rotate your body over to the right knee and twist yourself over. Then flex your left foot and rotate yourself back. Notice how this left hip hinges in. So you want to really peel this left hip back. Okay, this is going to start to activate the right inner thigh here and flex that left foot. Inhale, reach the arms up, and then exhale, fold over that left foot. Interlace the fingers around that left foot and hinge it forward here, finding the forehead into the knee, or as a matter of fact, lift off that forehead to knee and then lift your chin forward. See if you can reach the chin to the shin and the nose to the toes. So we don't want to round out that spine here. We want to keep it nice and long. So sorry about the misinstruction there. Just keep lifting up here and then folding down. One more breath. Keep lifting off and exhaling chin to shin, nose to toe. Nice. Slowly press into the mat and start to walk your fingertips back on up. Inhale, reach the arms up. And then I just want you to twist over to the left, press your left hand down and twist your torso here. Really make sure you're flexing the feet here in opposition. Good. Release it back. Switch it out. Right leg meets the left. Left leg comes in to meet the right thigh. And we bring the sole of that foot there. Then we rotate over here to the left toward that knee. Just kind of twist it out. Feel the softness of this right leg. Then flex your right foot and rotate it back. Peel your right hip back into its socket on this side. So we want to really feel like we're sitting on that sit bone on this right leg and we're flexing that foot. This is going to draw our torso further toward that right leg. Inhale, reach the arms up, think sternum to belly connection. Exhale, flex your foot and hinge it down. Maybe interlace those fingers around that foot or bring them to meet the mat here. And then as you hinge it forward, keeping the spine, reaching the crown of the head nice and long, folding it down, find chin to shin, nose to toes. Smile. It's just yoga. Breathe. Flexing that right foot. And exhale. Inhale, lets us expand just a little bit, lifting off. And exhale, fold it deep. Last time. Inhale, maybe walking those fingertips a little farther forward or hooking around that foot even deeper. And hinge it forward. Feel the length through that right thigh. Nice work. Slowly press into those palms so you can keep that spine nice and long as you rise. Nice work. Bring the soles of the feet together and peel those feet together as you peel yourself in. Pull the shoulders back and down and let the soles of the feet come together. Allow your shoulders to draw back and down and bring the palms together at your heart. Nice job. This time we're going to hinge over both legs here. If you're already feeling an intense stretch through those inner thighs, stay right here, okay? Otherwise, we're going to hinge it forward, really tilting at the pelvis. So I know I tell you to keep a neutral pelvis here, but today we're going to work on tilting the pelvis forward so we can encourage a deeper stretch through those inner thighs. Maybe your hands find the mat for a little support to keep the spine long, and press the feet together. If you can keep on walking those hands forward, do it. Just keep that spine nice and long. You might find that you get into the stretch and then it softens with your exhale. Keep going. Breathing. Softening. Nice. Walk it back. Hands come toward the legs. Bring those hands around the knees and draw those legs together. Close them up. And then give yourself a great big hug. Opposite stretch here. So down the belly to meet the spine, forehead to knees, chin to chest. Beautiful work today. When you're ready, kicking your legs out long, and open the door just in case I can get Frankie to come in for a minute. Say hi. In the meantime, you're just going to find your spine here, relaxing down, making your way into Shavasana. Grabbing a sip of water if you need, or play. I'm going to grab it off my cup. We're bring it to a little relaxation. And as you find your Shavasana, finding your back. Allow the heels to come together. Let the toes fall apart. Reach your hands down beside you. Palms turn up to the sky to receive. It can be down to the mat to give. If you want to do a little bit of both, turn the right palm up to receive and turn the left palm down to give. Taking a few breaths here, getting any nice little wiggles out, any nice little jiggles out. Notice the beat of your heart and your body. Soften the face. Relax your jaw by dropping the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Maybe lick your lips here. Smile. And start body scan. Now, if you're using this video before bed, please start at the crown of the head and work your way down to the feet. If this is your morning, let's start at the soles of the feet. We're going to work all the way up to the crown of the head, energizing the body. Just noticing any places in the body that are asking for your attention, for your love. Send itself. Anywhere that you feel tightness in the body, you can use that breath to guide some softness into any of those areas. Take a moment here to remember how courageous you are for turning on this video, for letting someone else guide you. I'm so honored. Thank you. Just take a moment to remember your power, to remember how incredible you are. Take a moment to give thanks for the blessings in your life. You're one of them. Forgive. I thank you. Information. He's such a cutie.
Thank you all for joining me today. It's been such an honor to share my space with you, to share my home with you. I urge you to stay here as long as you like, feeling the softness of your space, of your body, and the truth of your wholeness, never divided, always divine. Thank you again for allowing me to be your guide today. I'll leave you today. I just simply say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.